Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we will be discussing this webinar, which is Enhance Availability and Optimal Stock Levels with Smart Ordering, the procurement solution that Juleb will provide. Okay, so this is today's agenda. We have Juleb's introduction, procurement and ordering process, what is it and how to understand it more. Then the challenges, especially in the pharma industry. 4 would be Juleb's smart ordering solution, and we're going to go in depth in it. And then we're going to have a live demo, then 3 case studies, and at the end, it's the Q&A. And as Mohandas Hassan said, you can all drop the questions, and we have people to answer those questions or wait till the end. Okay, so let's start with what's Juleb. So I think most of you already know what is Juleb, but let's just go briefly over it. Juleb is a SaaS ERP system to manage all your pharma operations in one place. So rather than having multiple solutions that you can switch between, you have one solution for all your needs. So it streamlines pharma operation, including sales management, purchasing, which is exactly the process that we're going to be discussing today, reports, accounting, inventory, any compliance, aggregation, especially for pharma retail and distribution. So what is ordering process and procurement process? If you break down the ordering process, here is a step-by-step. So first step, as you can see, it's the identifying the need. So when you want to order, the first thing you ask is like, what are the products that I'm ordering and what are the quantities that I'm ordering and which supplier or vendor am I ordering those products from? So the identifying the need is the biggest question that you have in the ordering process because all the other steps are dependent on the first step. Then after you know what you want to order, whether it's the quantities, the products, the supplier, you want to create those purchase orders. Then for the fourth step, is the receiving. So after you create the order, you wait to get those products or those goods. And lastly, it would be the invoicing, payments, and even like vendor credits and everything comes at the end. So let's look at identifying the need. When you think about identifying the need, it basically means what are the quantities you want to order and from who. Those quantities have a lot of consideration when it comes to them. First is supplier evaluation. When you look at any product that you want to order, you want to make sure that you're ordering from the best supplier, whether it's vendor deals that you have with them, vendor targets, or supplier lead time, which is the second point, like how many days does it take the supplier to deliver those goods to your stores or warehouses. Then number 3, it's budget reviewed. You want to see if you're ordering your products based on like minimum amounts that you have or maximum amounts that you have based on the budget of that month or that purchasing cycle. And then it's a manual process. Like if you're doing that from people meeting customers right now, they do a lot of exporting of Excel sheets, then counting it, and it's a lot of manual work. And then you want to demand the forecasting. Basically, what does that mean? It just means what are the quantities that I need for the future? So you need to forecast or like kind of analyze what are those products that you need to order in the future. And all of these are really time consuming. All of these steps, since they're really manual and require a lot of hectic processes, they're really, really time consuming. And then we have historical sales data, which basically means what are the sales in the past months that I want to base my forecast demand quantities, or I want to see what I sold previously in previous months so I can understand what I need to order next. And then you have safety stocks too. Safety stocks is the bare minimum quantities that you need to have per branch. So imagine you have like chronic items that you need or like medications that you always need to have in each store. That means that's the minimum or like the safety stock that you need to have for those products per branch. And then lastly, you have expiry tracking. Imagine you keep ordering products and they keep going expired, scraped, and stuff like that. So rather than just reordering and having those same percentages expired, you would review all of the expired products in that time frame that you ordered from to track if you need to like minimize your quantities to make sure that you don't order excessive products that they expire again. So that's the kind of identifying need and why you need to look into that. So introducing Juleb's inventory planning solution. So planning solution is a bigger module, but today we're going to be discussing just one part, but let me just introduce the module as a whole. So Juleb's inventory planning solution is a comprehensive tool designed to streamline, optimize pharmacy inventory and ordering process. Basically, that means it has a lot of features, but here are the key features. It predicts demand quantities. It can forecast for you what are the quantities that you need. Two, automate orders and transfers. All of your purchase orders and transfers are completely automated, zero human interaction. Only you need to just make sure the numbers are good, and then the orders are going to be automated. Three, it sets your ideal stock levels. So if you knew exactly the stock levels or the quantities that you needed per product, that means it will create those ideal stock levels for you, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. And number four, it provides up-to-date inventory insights. So that means any inventory across all your branches, you will see it in real time, and you can track what is happening across all your branches. So let's look at the ordering process that we're going to be specifically talking about today. We're going to talk about the key features and some of the benefits. First is user-defined formulas. So I understand that everyone's ordering process is very complex and it has different needs. So we wanted to have user-defined formulas, meaning every one of your purchase managers or even every customer that you have, you want to order dynamic formulas, meaning you can customize your formulas and you can customize the way you order. So it's very flexible and you can change as many things and variables as you want to make it fit your business needs. Number two, it has real-time inventory visibility. As I mentioned in the previous slide, it has complete real-time inventory data that you can track immediately to see what's happening across all branches. Number three, it's data-driven decisions. So instead of just having an Excel sheet and manually figuring out what you need, you're going to have all the data that you need all in one place, automated for you with auto calculation by the system, and you can just make decisions based on those data that is going to be provided. And number four, automated processes. So now your purchase process and procurement process is going to be from A to Z completely automated. If you set it up correctly, it's going to be automated for you. So let's go through the live demo now. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the Q&A box. Okay. So this is the planning module main page. As you can see, we have 5 different tabs. Forecasting basically is the analysis section, which is basically where you get to input your products, and then you will kind of do some analysis based on historical data, and you then update your minimum and maximum fields, which is like the fields and the product that I will be discussing now. And the ordering process, I will go in depth to it, so I'll skip that for now. And then we have transferring. Transferring basically means you take those insights, like it's a mini forecasting, you take those mini insights and create transfers between your branches, whether it's from warehouse to warehouse, or warehouse to store, or between different stores, and you transfer those based on the analysis period that you had, or based on a forecasted period, so you would estimate it. But min-max replenishment is also transfers, automated transfers, but the difference is you already have the minimum and the ideal stocks, let's call them. You have the minimum and product maximum fields already filled, so you replenish between all of your stores or branches based on those minimum and maximum fields that you already had. And lastly, we have update location. So basically this one, so as you know, you have some inventory fields for each product. So you want to update the product locations for your stores, you can use that. So each one of these has a different access right. So you don't have to worry about someone going in and changing a lot of things. They have to have access right. And for an overview, this is how you see the other tabs from the left side. On the right side, you can see if you want the Arabic language, caching, or you want to log out completely. So let's go through ordering. So the ordering page looks like this initially. First thing you have to do, excuse me, first thing you have to do is select the products. So when you start a purchase order, the first thing you look into is what are the products that I really want to order. We have filtered like brands, suppliers, categories, and other supplies like you see on the left. You can search by certain products, or even if you would prefer, you can upload an Excel sheet you can upload an Excel sheet to filter by those products to create a purchase order for them. For me, I will choose, let's say, the medication category, and I will click preview. As you can see, I have 8,376 products with all of these fields. You can also add or remove fields the way you like to kind of customize it for you. I will click apply. That means I'm going to create purchase order for those 8,000 products. The purchasing branch basically means it's the branch that I want to order for. So if you have a warehouse or like a main warehouse that you order to, that would be it. So for us, that's B3. And then the analysis branches. If you leave it empty, the default will be all of the branches that you have. For me, I would like to choose B1, B2, and B4, which is basically my stores that I want to do the analysis for. Like basically the analysis is I will get the sales in a previous period. And that's what comes in to the analysis period. So analysis period means I will check this period, which is, as you can see here, from 9 September to 9 October. The default is just 1 month. You can customize it however you like. But for this example, it's from 9 September to 9 October. I will take all of these sales for all of the analysis branches that I just selected for all of the products that I selected above, which is the 8,000 products. And then we have the forecast period. Forecast period is the coverage period, meaning they are how many days basically you want the product to last you. So I imagine I want to order certain products, all of these 8,000, to last me for 30 days, meaning it will take the average from the analysis period, multiply it by the 30 days. Imagine selling one product for 30 days. That means 1 times 30, it's 30. That's how many products I need to order for this specific product. And then we have the fill to. Filling to here has 3 simple options originally here, but then you can even like further dig deeper into each product or even each line. So due maximum, due minimum, and forecast quantity. Due maximum basically means is the quantity that is expected or you might need. Basically, this takes the product min and max. We can look into product min and max for now. Let's look into this product. ALAX. Let's choose a branch that I have, actually. Okay, I will show you where to find like the minimum and maximum fields to make it easier. Okay, and then I think it's this one. Okay, so for this certain products, ALAX tablet, I will see the supplier right here. This is the supplier that I was filtering by. This is the category, which is medication. And then if you go to inventory tab right here, these are the fields that I'm talking about. Basically, we can ignore the product min and max periods. Those are used for the replenishment section, and that will be in a different basically different webinar. But what I'm discussing today is the product max and the product minimum, meaning my maximum quantity that I want to have for this specific branch, which is my B1. I want to have 4,000 products as a maximum, which doesn't mean that I have to fill it to, but it can be up to 41,000, and then a minimum of 1 product. So those are the fields that I'm talking about. And then for the due minimum and due maximum, it takes the sum of all of your branches combined minus the quantity on hand. So it will tell you this is what you need to have in your products to be filling it to maximum quantity that you would expect or minimum quantity that you would expect. And this would really help with your budgeting. If you're like looking for a smaller budget, you would fill to min. And if you're looking for a higher budget, then you would go for max. We can start with forecast, for example, which is the period that we're going to fill to, which is this one. And then you can add a sale column. What does that mean? This basically means I can do Q3. Okay, so the sale column basically means it's the sales in a certain period that you will choose. So you will give it a name and then you will choose the period. So that's going to be May, I think. So
Q3 is July 1st.
Oh, July 1st. Okay, July 1st till
September 30.
Okay, so that will give you the sale column, basically like all of the sales for a specific period that you selected. We can even add another one, which is 2024. Like if you want to look at all of your annual sales, you would do this. I would do from January till today's date, which is October 9. So those are 2 extra sale columns that I would like to see for my analysis. Like I want to decide what I like. And those are like 2 sale columns that I added. Then we have 3 buttons or checkboxes below, which is weighted average. Weighted average is a formula that we uses. It basically means yesterday's sales has more weights over sales in the beginning of the year. Why is that? Because yesterday's sales are more important. That means it has more weight. This is how we would recommend you to calculate your averages. And if you don't want it, you can uncheck it. But for this example, we will check it on because it's better. And then we have consider quantities from open POs and add vendor lead time. Consider quantities from open POs means if you already have created purchase orders that you have not received yet, you want to make sure that you do not reorder those products, especially that you already have them on the way, let's say. So you don't want to have them again. So you would just check this off. And that means those products, I don't want to order them again because I already have a PO that I'm supposed to receive with those products. And then add vendor lead time. This will multiply the vendor lead time, which is this tab. Let's say this product, ALAX, it will take 20 days for this supplier to deliver it to my branches B1. And then do I want to count those? That means while I am waiting for the supplier to deliver those products, please count the days in my calculation so I don't miss those days. I'll just keep them empty for now, but we can try another example later if someone needs to see it. I'll click Analyze. As you can see, now it will calculate the 8,000 products for my purchasing branches with B3 for the analysis branches which is B1, B2, and B4. Here, it's segregated it to 18 lines. Let me explain why is that. So each of these are segregated based on the supplier. As you saw here, so all of the products under Jamjum Medicine Store, JMS, are combined together, and there are 22 lines, and combined together to be in one PO. This one, number 18, does not have a supplier. Why is that? So that means certain products, this supplier field was empty, and that is why they don't have it. And if you would like to kind of go into it, you just click this button and select supplier. Okay, and then you have the totals below, so you can budget accordingly. Imagine those numbers look, which is 16,000, this is too low. I would rather do due minimum, and I would click Analyze again. This will show me the estimated quantities and costs, basically based on the due minimum for each product. And then, yeah, so these are the numbers instead. And you can see it calculated it really fast. Let's look into one example for now. Maybe take this supplier, and we'll look into it together. I'll close this filter to make the screen bigger. Let me filter by this. Okay. First thing you see is the product ALU name and everything. You can add or remove. You will add or remove lines the way, or columns, I mean, the way you like. And then you can see the grading. This is manual. These are the sales that I had. So these products had 0 sales in Q3, but overall in the year, I had 19 products sold for this certain product. And then this is the supplier lead time, which is in the product, and then purchasing branch quantity on hand, which is my B3, and then analysis branches combined quantity on hand, which is basically B1, B2, and B4. And then product minimum, which is the combination, and maximum and the due, and everything is here. And then this is the forecast, which is the original one we had, but this one is due minimum, which is this field. You can see even in the totals on top. So let's imagine that these formulas, they didn't suffice or exactly get the thing I wanted. So instead, I will select the checkbox to apply certain formulas. So to make it easier, you can see there's so many numbers. I'll just make everything 0 right now, so we can just start fresh and show you together. You will click the setting button next to it, next to apply. I've created a few formulas for us to test out. Let me show you how one looks like, and then we can create a formula together. So I want basically the formula means you can customize however you want to fill the order quantity. You can customize however you want the order quantity. So formula, you would use the icon, basically, and then you would choose it. So I want the product minimum. So I want to fill my order quantity by product minimum plus, or let's do actually product maximum. I want to do product maximum plus supplier lead time times my average, that means I want to get for every day that the supplier is taking to come to me to multiply it by the average so I can see how many days it takes. And then plus the product max of each product. And then when is a condition, you can leave it empty. That means it will apply for all. For this example, we can do if the product maximum, same thing at product maximum. Let's say if my product maximum is more than 10, then I want it to apply. And then you name your formula. So it would be product max, and I would call it plus supplier lead time. And I will click save. As you can see, there's other examples. You can remove and add the way you like. Yeah, you can delete them and you can even edit them. I will close this, and then I found it's product max plus supplier lead time. And then let's go to the order and then click. Okay, how do we know that is applied? You can see we have the average sold, which is this. The GMax is 13400, and then this is the average sold, and then it's multiplied by the supplier lead time, which is 20, and it adds it, so it's 13407, and the order quantity is always rounded up. So yeah. And then let's look if the order if the GMax is smaller. We don't have that. And then yeah, maybe we can try another example, or I can even show you that if you add a new formula, you can even use the sales columns that you just added. So this is the 2024, the sale column that I just added, and then I can maybe divide it by 10. So that's the average for 10 months since we're in October, and that's I would apply this for all of my products, and then I would call it average of 2024. So save. That's it. I will apply average 2024. It will give me 0 for all since, let me show you, there is one with forecast. It will give me these. So it's 19 divided by 10. That's equal 1.9, and it rounds it. So 1.9 rounded is going to be 2. And for this example, just to show you, we're going to go back to that one. Very easy. And then if you can create, I like these numbers, everything looks good, the supplier is what I want, this is the quantity, and everything seems fine. I will create my order. It'll take a few seconds. And what's so cool about it, you can see the estimated cost right now and the quantity. The system will generate this PO for you, and then these totals on top will be the actual cost and vendor deals and whatever based on the PO itself. So if we go here, let me go to, this is B3, correct. Let me see. And then I will do order by October. And then order date by day, which is today. It created, just, this is not hours. Wait, okay. So this is it. I take it, as you can see, this is the number, the cost, the new cost. It's not estimated cost anymore. And then if you go here and I filter my PO, it's this one. I can see my totals and everything is already here. Okay, everything is here. Perfect. And and now let's look into imagine all of these lines, and I like all of them. I can export my lines if I like to adjust them or anything, but imagine I like all of these numbers except this one because it already is created. So I will select all of them. I don't want this one anymore. And then this one is also without a supplier, so I don't want these products. So as you can see, I selected 16 different purchase orders from 16 different vendors with over, what is this number? 16 million quantities. And with this estimated cost, I will create this order. It will take around 5 to 7 minutes to create it, but let me show you how it will look like. So I've created this, and it created all of these purchase orders for me immediately, and all of my costs are right here. So this is like how it looks like in general. So this is the end of the demo. We'll go into some case studies right now. So we have 3 case studies for you. So we have an enterprise customer that uses the product and minimum, so the product minimum and maximum in their daily operations. We have a mid-sized customer that leverages the dynamic formulas, which I just showed, for their order quantities. And we have a really small business that just started that utilizes the Open PO, which is the checkbox we had at the bottom in their ordering processes. So please feel free to ask questions in the Q&A, and thank you all. Please let me know if there's any questions I can answer.
Okay, is this integrated with other ERPs as well? So the answer here would be yes, we are able to integrate with other ERPs. We already have established integrations with Oracle Fusion. We are in the works with integration with Microsoft Dynamics and SAP for HANA. Okay, so we are able to do integrations with other ERP. What are the technologies has been used front end and back end? We use advanced technologies, mostly open source, but typically for us, the front end is written, if you want to understand, it's React. In the back end, it's GraphQL. I mean, this is more detailed information, but yeah, we use something that is used by Facebook, AWS, and other main software companies. Okay, same question at the end. Any other questions? Does this system has workflow to update purchase orders, and does it have mobile app for workflow to approve for users while traveling? Yes, the system has a workflow to update purchase orders. Whenever you create purchase orders, it becomes a purchase order where you can edit it and update. And yes, we also have mobile app for approval. We have a workflow process for approval, and we have a mobile app for specifically where you can get a notification for something that is pending your approval to approve. So the answer to your question, Mr. Rajant, is yes to both. Question by WhatsApp. Are there any limits on how much data can be exported? Can users customize which columns or data sets are included in the exports, or is it full table export? Right now, there are no limits to the exports. It's mostly going to be based on your network connection. You can just click on export and it will work for you, no issues. Are there customizing the columns? Right now, you can export it and delete the columns that you don't want, because this is the full table export. If there is a necessity for which columns to eliminate, maybe you can do that later. But for now, after exporting, you can eliminate the tables, the columns that you do not need. Is there a billing plan? Is it one-off, perpetual, or subscription? We are a SaaS subscription plan company because we keep updating our software and add more features, and we maintain the hosting as well as the integration for whatever whatever software ERP that you are already subscribed to. Obviously, we also are an ERP provider. So if you use our ERP and you use our modules, so that would be under one umbrella and simpler. But if you have a different ERP, then we maintain the connections between our modules and your ERP. That's a question for Mr. Kidali. Okay, another question. Once an order is created in the ERP system, can users track its status, e.g. pending, partially delivered? This is from this module, or do they need to access the ERP system for updates? So right now, actually, we have multiple ways of changing. But there are ways to change it from this place and tracking for it. But typically, you would just want to go to the ERP and track it directly from the ERP. If there is a need, because this is more planning rather than actual tracking of purchasing, therefore it makes sense to not need it here. But as we move and improve the product over time, if there is more dependency on this and more people relying on this over time, then yes, we can add this functionality later on. Okay. Actually, nice to have this many questions. How does this system calculate vendor lead time when it's selected? Is there flexibility for the user to adjust these lead times if they have more accurate real-time data?
But yes, it's flexible. So it's for now we have every product. As long as the supplier is selected, it will multiply for each. If the supplier is selected and the vendor lead time is filled, it will multiply the vendor lead time times the average sold. So that's the formula. But since we have the dynamic formula right now, you can customize it however you want and adjust it. So if you want the formula to be different, also we had another way. So if you use, so
But
if
the
you
lead
use,
time, but the
yes.
lead time itself is a mix between whether you want to change it yourself or you can apply it from your purchase orders. So if you use our ERP, then you can apply from the purchase order to the receipt. That's the lead time for the product vendor. And then the calculation on how it's connected, then whatever engineer Aida just mentioned, there is a formula that we apply, and there is a way for you to modify that as well. As you saw in the demo, there is a flexibility in the formula. So we out of the box some ready-made formulas and things that are we saw quite useful from the market, but there is massive amount of customization for formulas because it's really open for you to do what you want with formulas and how you want to structure the way that you order or place your orders within our system. Uh, there was another question, I think. كم يأخذ البرنامج وقت لعمل الطلبية لصيدلية عادية؟ وهل ينفع للطلبيات اليومية؟ أكيد الفكرة إنه ما يأخذ وقت، يأخذ دقائق لصيدلية
Even
عادية.
less. Even less.
Yeah,
If it's one purchase order, it takes less than 20 seconds.
يعني ياخد ثواني على حسب انت ايش تبي تسوي. طبعا لو انت استخدمت البرنامج ككل ويكون عندك الداتا كلها في مكان واحد وتستخدمها بطريقة صحيحة، حتاخد منك وقت اقل بكثير، لانك انت حتاخد السيلز حقتك بطريقة صحيحة وتبني البيرتشيس اوردر حقتك بطريقة صحيحة، فكل حاجة تصير عندك في مكان واحد وتتبني عندك بطريقة صحيحة، فهي موضوع دقائق اذا ما كانت ثواني. That's the answer to Dr. Abdullah. Going back to Mr. Kidali again, in case of additional modification customization, how is this handled? As we mentioned, with the formula engine that we provided, you already have a lot of room for modifications that you need. However, we are a software provider with capacity for customization. So we do a lot of customizations for our customers. But it will depend on your subscription. But yes, we are always providing customizations for our customers. So that's always an open something that we provide out of our suite of services. That's for Mr. Kidali. For Mr. Ahmed, Dr. Ahmed, is there any tool to give an alarm for reaching the minimum stock and we need to restock again for retail or the main warehouse without checking every time? Yes, actually. If you attended our BI workshop, we actually have a BI tool that you can put your dashboard or tracking for stock in a certain dashboard and then automatically sent to you as an email. But also, by the way, in our ERP, there is also automatic notification for low stock. It gives you, I think, Ghaida, if you just go back to, if you go to the ERP for a second.
Yeah, got it.
On the top right, on the screen, on the not the top right, the clock icon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here it will tell you in the inventory if you have anything that is low stock, because this is demo, you don't see it. But if there is anything low stock, it will tell you here that there is something. But for people to actually take action, I mentioned the original idea of having your stock levels monitored in the BI, and the BI would automatically send you daily email reports. And if you have anything that is low stock, it will flag it for you and send it to you in an email. اوكي، يعني ما يأثر على الوقت الصيدلي. هل يوجد نسخة بالعربي؟ دكتور عبد الله، احنا السيستم حقنا عربي انجليزي. لكل يوزر على براحته، يبغى يستخدم السيستم العربي بيستخدم السيستم الانجليزي، كل يوزر مختلف. يعني لو انت عندك 5 أنفار، 2 بالعربي و3 بالانجليزي، يشتغل معهم كل واحد باللغة اللي يبغاها. فاللغة عندنا كل واحد باللي يبغاها. هل ما يأثر؟ هذا التوقيت هذه الفكرة اللي احنا بنقدمها. الفكرة إن احنا نوفر وقت كتير جدا على الصيدلي وعلى الناس اللي بتستخدم السيستم. وورانا السوليوشن اليوم تبعنا عشان نوريكم كيف توفير الوقت عندنا شيء كبير يعني. يعطيك العافية دكتور عبد الله. Next, Mr. Nuruddin. Technology is used in the front end and the back end. So as I mentioned, we use React in the front end. In the back end, we use GraphQL. Flexibility of integration with other ERPs. We have integrations with other ERPs. We have integration already with Oracle Fusion. We are working on integration with Microsoft Dynamics and SAP for HANA. ممكن فيديو للاجتماع. فيديو للاجتماع راح يطلع إن شاء الله خلال الأسبوع الجاي، ونشارككم باللينك إن شاء الله. Great, thanks a lot. Essential tool that you really covered. Thank you so much, Dr. Ahmed. This is we're really proud to have built such a tool, and we're interested for people to try it, to give us a chance to give them another demo, to sit down with the team, the operational team, their supply chain team, to go through more details about the information. You can reach out, Dr. Ahmed Sabbagh, if you don't mind putting one more the sales information for people to reach out. كمان إذا ممكن تزودنا بالخطوات مكتوبة لعمل الطلبيات، شكرا. فور دكتور عبد الله، الخطوات زي ما احنا سوينا الويبنار هذه عشان الناس برضو لما ترجع بعدين أي أحد يحتاج يقدر يشوف الويبنار تاني. وترى احنا عندنا دوكيومنتيشن لكل المواضيع هذه، والدوكيومنتيشن حقتنا عربي إنجليزي، يعني أي أحد يحتاج أي معلومات عشان يستخدم السيستم حقنا يقدر يشوف الأشياء مكتوبة إن شاء الله. فموجود عربي وإنجليزي إن شاء الله، أي أحد لو يبغى يستخدم نرسل لهم المعلومات. Dr. Rawad is asking, will it deduct available quantity from forecast? Yes, actually, we're relying if you're using the system reservation properly, then yes, it will actually rely on the available quantity rather than the quantity on hand. If you are using it correctly, yes. But this is more replenishment concept. But yes, even in ordering, it's relying on the available quantity rather than the quantity on hand. We have another question, do we? Is everything related to planning, or there is another part to be covered in the future in another webinar? Yes, there is for planning module. This is only the ordering part. In December, we will have a webinar about the forecasting and replenishment. This is targeted to your communication with demand planning and your communication with the vendors. So placing purchase orders to the vendors. Okay. In December, it will be your replenishment, which is your transferring from the main warehouse to the branches and the transferring between the branches and maintaining the stock level in the branches. That's at the end of the year in December. Right now, this was about only the ordering part. Every other part is going to be our December webinar. Look out also for our November webinar, which will be about our sales and collection mobile app, Juleb Connect. I guess one more. دكتور سامي بيسأل هل في طريقة لعمل طلبية من البرنامج ونقلها مباشرة إكسل، وعند تسجيل أي صنف للطلب يظهر المخزون في الفروع كاملة؟
Yes.
يمكن
Yeah. أيوة دكتور سامي. إيه موجود. So you basically تقدر تعمل الطلبات أو الأوردرات حقتك وبعدين تجهزها في أكسل زي ما أنا عملته بإكسبورت كل اللاينز وبعدين حتى ممكن تطلع الكوانتيتي اون هاند اللي هي combined quantity on hand، جمعت لي هي كلها في واحد عمود، زي مثلا هذا 6300 across كل الفروع مو بس لفرع واحد، وبيجيب لي الاوردر كوانتيتي والcombined quantity on hand، وبعدين تقدر تعمل لها either ترفعها مرة تانية أو بأي طريقة، فأيوه موجود.
live يا دكتور. Is there training portal to review the module benefits updated? But we'll upload this webinar to the training portal as well, so for you to review as well. But yes, we have a training portal that we keep uploading to. This planning module is, we wanted to do the webinar first so we can upload it to the training portal after. But yes, we will upload this.
And I think we also have 4 to 5 upcoming videos inshallah for the training portal for the planning module in general, مو بس الordering.
Okay. Thank you all for coming. It was our pleasure to show you what we have. Again, look out for our next sales and collection webinar in November, and the other part of planning, which is replenishment and forecasting at the December. With that, if you have anything that you need, you can reach out to our sales team. You can reach out to our customer success team if you're already in our customer list. And again, thank you all for coming.